Hello there. What is going on, everybody? We've got ourselves a Legion preview today. We have a new article that's giving us some new information on two new expansions that are coming out, the Imperial Stormtroopers upgrade and the Rebel Troopers upgrade expansions, and we're getting a look at all the goodies that are coming in this pack. So I'm going to run through all this with you. And this is a very exciting day for Legion players because we haven't had an article in a while, and it feels like it's been a long time. Even though Legion does get probably the most articles out of any game right now, we've had a lapse. There's been some radio silence, and it feels like now things are starting to pick back up, especially with the Clone Wars launching later this week. This is a great time to start getting more and more articles out there because production is getting back on track, and anybody who pre-ordered from FFG has already started getting their stuff. So just a good week for Legion, and I think it's going to be a good fourth quarter for Legion, and this is the kickoff to it because we're getting some great new stuff. Also, I do want to remind you guys there is a new huge giveaway going on right now for a $100 Amazon gift card. All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment in the comments section letting me know what your favorite Star Wars film is. Alright, since these guys are, the Stormtroopers are very iconic in all of the films, and some of these Rebel aliens you don't see in very many films, so I'm curious if aliens play a part in any of your favorite films, because we are getting some more aliens in the sculpts, and that is really cool here. This giveaway is going to run until the first week of November, so that's exciting. So there's plenty of time to enter that. Let's talk about the Stormtrooper pack. So one of the things you're going to get in here is you're going to get, first off, you're going to get a couple of upgrades in addition to just your minis, which is nice. And one of the ones you're going to get in there, in both this and the Rebel version, is the smoke grenade. The smoke grenade, was like a lot of people thinking, oh, we got to get the clones. No, smoke grenades coming out in a whole bunch of other places. You don't have to get the Phase 1 Clone Trooper pack to get smoke grenade. So if you were thinking of getting that because you had to have smoke grenade, look, it's coming right here. So that's good. But you're going to get 4 minis here. You're also going to get the unit upgrade right here. So if you want to just add an extra unit of Stormtroopers, you can use these minis for that. Or some of the minis that you offset in your other units, you can pull those and use those here. So you can basically add another Stormtrooper. This is actually really good if maybe you got like 2 core sets and 1 Stormtrooper pack when Legion first launched, and maybe at max you can just field 5 right now. If you wanted to bump this up to that 6th, that's a great way to go. And they're doing the same thing for everything else. So like personally right now, since I'll be reviewing stuff, I'm probably going to follow that formula for the Clone Wars. I'm probably going to end up going with 2 core sets, 1 Trooper expansion, for purposes of review. That will put me at 5. And then when this comes out, and then I can field a 6th if I want. So that's kind of cool. We'll see. But still, that's not necessarily you have to do it. But what are they coming with? So first off, the Stormtroopers are going to kind of get their own version of a quasi Z6, right? A quasi version of a Z6 here. Not quite 6 white dice with the T21 Stormtrooper, but you're getting 4 white dice, which is pretty good for 1 mini, considering, what was really the go-to option before, 2 red. So this is kind of an upgrade there, potentially, because you're getting more overall dice. However, you're also getting critical 2, which is a very versatile keyword, and I really do like critical in the way that it works. It feels like it's less crucial on a Stormtrooper that already has Surge to hit, but it's good when you're shooting into cover. It's good if you need to split fire and you're not going to have the punch through power to break through maybe even suppression or light cover or heavy cover. Critical 2 is definitely going to be helpful there. Also, it's good against vehicles. It's good against so many different solutions. It's also good against somebody who's got a couple of dodge tokens, right? So, or against somebody protected by Guardian. Critical is good for so many things, and that I feel like this guy might be really nice. The T21 Stormtrooper, not as many dice as the Z6 for the Rebels, but maybe a good comfortable in between. I'm kind of digging it. Then we've got the RT-97 Charlie Stormtrooper, a little bit like of a best of both worlds kind of thing, kind of like he's range 1 to 4, so you've got that long range like you used to have, and this is, I believe, the same kind of rifle that you have the tank option for, and so that's pretty cool. But you're still gonna get 4 dice, but one of them is gonna be red. You're gonna lose that critical 2, but you're getting a red dice. You're gaining some more likelihood of actually getting a hit. If you're afraid you're just gonna whiff and roll all blanks, this might be a good option for you. Especially if maybe you have to do something besides aim. If you're afraid you're not going to get aim tokens, which Stormtroopers really do like those because they have the built-in +1 extra reroll. having a red die can be nice. And then, if you're feeling lucky, like, I really like this guy. Plus he's a little cheaper. He's a little cheaper than the T21, but yeah, I really like this guy. He's got the range. He's got the red die. He's still got 4 dice that he's adding. So, if you got a fully loaded unit, you can still get about 9 dice out of it. So it's pretty nice. But we've also got personnel. We've got our Stormtrooper captain, and I really love this artwork. He's pointing. He's like, let's go get him. He looks determined too. Like, his mask is more, he's got that brow angled down. Like, he is determined. Where the other guys are upwards and they're like more optimist. They're more like, oh, okay. He's like, no, we're going this way. So, no, I love the Stormtrooper captain. He's got an exhaustible ability. He's 15 points. He's going to be the leader. It does give you the training upgrade, so that gives you so many options, and that can really, like, that was one of the hallmarks of, like, the veterans and the short troopers, is that they could take training, which was really cool. So it opens up a whole new type of upgrade that was unavailable to you before, which is very cool. And then you don't have to use it either. Unlike what we've seen before with, like, the comms trooper, which you had to use it. Now you don't have to. You can turn some stormtroopers into a little bit more fearsome. And if you exhaust this card, when you activate, you cannot remove suppression tokens or be suppressed during this activation. So if you do end up, like, you've wanted to run duck and cover or something like that, or if you're afraid that somebody's going to try to suppress you, now this doesn't stop panic, so you'll still, if you get too much, but if you're running them with Vader, then that just makes them, stone cold. They're going to get it. They're totally going to get it. So I like that. And we have the specialist, the Stormtrooper specialist, which is, again, it's 15, so it's a little more expensive, but it's also giving you an extra gear upgrade icon, so you can now have 2 gear options, which opens up a whole lot, or rather, equipment, right? No, it's gear. It's gear. It's called gear. but yeah, you can have a whole lot of different things, like maybe targeting scopes, right? So you want to switch depending on which heavy you're running. Instead of an aim giving you, now 3 dice, now maybe you want to re-roll a 4th die, since you're rolling so many white dice anyway. Right? Maybe you're running critical 2 and you really want to fish for those surges, and guess what? The risk there is that you might have to move and shoot. You might not always have the option to aim and shoot. Well, boom, he's got that built in, because now you can recover and gain an aim or a surge token. Like this one is really, really cool. But now the problem that you run into sometimes is with these exhaust abilities. Well, now maybe you want to go with the Stormtrooper rocket launcher, right? Because he was already a decent, weapon, but you had to exhaust him. Well, now all of a sudden you can recover, exhaust aim, exhaust shoot rocket launcher, and shoot. You're gonna have an aim and a shot every single time. Right? Like, so there's a lot of synergies here. This opens up some cool new build options for Stormtroopers. So if you're looking for a good, solid Stormtrooper unit to kind of sit in one spot and be able to shoot with an aim and, maybe, anti-vehicle, which maybe become, maybe you start using the rocket launcher with this guy. So you don't have to use these all together, right? You can't use them all together. But you don't have to use the the Stormtrooper specialist with one, like with the RT-97 Charlie or the T-21. You can use the other ones too. So it's pretty cool. Rebels also are getting, it looks like the same upgrade cards with the smoke grenade also, which is pretty cool. They're getting a lot more aliens. They're actually all aliens, which is very, very cool. So we're going to start off looking at the SX-21, which is our Ithorian. And now the Rebels are getting a close range option, kind of bringing them a little bit into the close range threat, kind of like Fleet Troopers. Except this one's 4 dice, 2 red and 2 white. So this is good quality dice here. And Impact 1. So this is I really like this one. This one's very cool. Of course, it's hard for anything to beat the Z6. It really, really is. However, I generally tend to run, the fragmentation grenades on my Rebels, since they don't have surge, and that gives them, in range 1, surge to crit. And if you're looking close range, I'm like, well, maybe I'd rather just have more dice with surge to crit. So I'm not sure about this one, but maybe this will be really good with impact grenades too. That is definitely a possibility, since those reds are a lot more likely to turn up to be hits. There's some options, but pretty cool. It's good either way. It doesn't have to be used against vehicles, because it's only impact 1. It's not like it's gotta use this against vehicles. So it'd be good if you're planning a standby and you're in like a city type terrain. where you're guarding an objective. Somebody has to come around, and you're like, ba-boom. Very nice. He's got and it is basically a shotgun he's holding there. We've got the DLT-20 Alpha. The Rebels now get a long range, a range 4 option, which is, this is probably the more impactful. No pun intended, because it doesn't have impact. But this is probably the more impactful change to Rebels here, in that they now can shoot at range 4. With, oh, by the way, critical 1, something the Rebels didn't even have. They didn't have offensive surge at all, so now they at least have a single one. And, oh, by the way, now they're rolling more dice than the Empire would roll with their DLT. All right. Now it's 2 black and a white, so it's not the 2 red that the Empire had, but you've got a critical 1 and you've got 3 dice, so you could potentially do even better, especially if you aim and shoot, and then split fire or something like that. So I really like the DLT-20 Alpha. I think this is going to be the more often taken. Like, as much as I love that we're getting a Hammerhead, I don't see myself taking the Hammerhead as much. I see myself taking the DLT-20 Alpha way more often. And then also we have the Rebel Trooper Captain, which is going to be exactly the same as the Imperial Trooper Captain, in that it's going to give us the training upgrade. It's going to be a leader. It's 14 points, and our Imperial was, I believe, 15, right? Yeah, 15, and then 15 there as well, and I'm pretty sure so 1 point cheaper for each of the Rebel options, which is about appropriate. That kind of goes along with what the unit cost is. So we've got our Rees here, Rebel Trooper Specialist, who is also adds the same thing to give yourself a dodge or surge token. Now this one's obviously is a little different in that it's not an aim. So the Rebels just don't. Nobody wants to give the Rebels aims, right? Nobody wants to give them. But a dodge works good with the Rebels, because then they can continue to reuse it, and of course they're getting the extra gear as well. So that's cool. I kind of like the Imperial version a little bit better, especially since both of these are going to work with the alternate 3-pip that are generic as well. So there's a whole lot of, I think this is a great personnel upgrade. It is a little more expensive, but because it's giving you new build options, it just turns out to be really cool. You're not going to be able to use, however, the captain and the specialist in the same unit, but you can have them fighting side by side. I'm curious, how many of these are you guys thinking about picking up? Because one is going to give you the option to upgrade 4 different units, so maybe it's not, if you're just looking to get a flavor for these, 1 is probably just fine. But if you really like some of these build options, you could really be incentivized to buy 6 of these expansions. I think 2 is probably good enough to give you a good flavor of it, and then also be able to specialize a little bit more. Like, hey, I want to really use some of the new trooper guys or the new heavy weapons guys. I love it. There's so many cool stuff that you're getting. We're also going to get a copy of Offensive Push in this particular pack, which is very, very nice, while performing a move, gain Tactical 1. And of course, here is the way that you can get your free aim with the Rebels, and the Empire can also get that as well. But I feel like now the Empire can take the leader one, giving this also gives you the free aim token, whereas maybe the Rebels have a little more options. It's a great card. It's a great card. Again, it's another exhaust, so I feel like we're going to be recovering a lot more. So, very cool. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I also want to thank my patrons. You guys are amazing and help make this all possible. So that's all I've got for you today. Very cool time to be a Legion player. I will talk to you guys later. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.